once now, baby, but I'll never let you in again.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Daily Earths. My name is Melvin, your host. This week, we are going to look into some issues concerning the COVID-19 pandemic. The virus has got us wearing nose masks. Like ninjas. Well, except for me here, I'm quite immune. Besides, how would you feel if I were to host at the show with a nose mask? Okay, back to what we have for today. Right now the pandemic keeps spreading across continents. People are doing what they can to survive. Economies have been strained, sparking an imbalance. Reminds me of the deadly influenza, almost 100 years before now, that rocked the globe to its core. And they wore nose masks. Like we do now. As far as we know, no one wants to be blamed on the spread of Corona. Sorry, Corona. I prefer to call it Corona. Sounds more fancy. As far as we know, no one wants to be blamed, no one wants to take responsibility, not even a half admittance. Haha. Just like popular Mr. Nobody Kilograms poetry. Not even the Chinese, where it all began, admits it. Our famous Batwoman of China, Chen Shi, and her team experts seem to have large chunks of knowledge and genetic makeup of the COVID years before the pandemic. So it will properly describe why China should probably be fined millions or even $1 trillion. Fraught with headlines on the nature of the virus, which seem to remain shrouded in mystery, has seemingly become the order of the day, with new symptoms emanating from sick patient to patients. The Wuhan suburb where all began seem to return to normalcy. This begs the question: do the Chinese government have their sashes clean? Alarms have been raised on possible alleged attempts to halt in-depth research of the deadly virus and possible solutions. So far, what is known is that the virus is of the type RNA, which will explain why it affects the respiratory chambers of the human body. Experts have been able to point out some weak links in the virus cells which would describe why sunlight and heat have proven effective in temporal reduction of the virus spread. Trump made a statement on this when he wanted doctors to try injecting patients with...
So, supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it.
Get the right folks who could.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute.
If you look at the coronavirus as a chain with many links, what we've done through our study is we've identified some of the weak links in that chain. Identified that heat and humidity is a weakness in that chain. We've identified that sunlight, solar light, UV rays is a weakness in protect themselves. This is just another tool in our tool belt, right? Another weapon in the fight that we can add to.
Trump made a statement on this when he wanted doctors to try injecting patients with disinfectants. I'm sure not getting this though. What on earth will a disinfectant do, if not complicating health matters? And there's almighty Bill Gates and his project vaccine, now fully realized, being met with critics on the grounds that these supposed vaccines are laced with microchips. Investigations are still ongoing though. What the hell will I need a foreign metallic fluid implanted in my body without due consent? Why would I wish to have a foreign surveillance inside my body? What happened to regular scanners at health test centers? Are they no longer cut out for the task? Nigeria is rumored to be persuaded to pass a bill that will enable vaccination of all its citizens. Same Nigeria is facing a turn of deliriums on locations of the Chinese medical experts whose duty was to aid Nigeria fight the COVID-19. Their whereabouts unknown. Perhaps they are on vacation. The federal government have been asked to produce the location of the experts. The Chinese in Nigeria seem not to be representing their country well, as they have been involved in hideous crimes of recent. This includes bribery and illegal mining of gold in the northern part of Nigeria. These dudes sure want some golden tokens that they are willing to risk detention in the black land. Every day seems to be fraught with news and the never-ending list of medications and counter-medications that could cure coronavirus. But I think Corona's gonna stay with us for some time. This isn't about where is thy faith? I have faith coronavirus will go, as do others and great men of God do. There's been a hoot on the perfect class of reason to pin the blame on. From animals, like the pangolin, bats, snakes, to accusing the Chinese making a biological weapon in order to rise above Recall that China has been researching on the SARS and COVID species relatives back in 2004 after the SARS virus made quite a stir in 2002, causing pneumonia. Facts garnered from research findings on the bats by Shi Zhengli and her teammates of course showed a list of SARS-related viruses, and since then, more research was done in prediction of the possible emergence of what the world will know now as coronavirus. Turns out they were right. Now comes top religious personalities and their oh-so-holy sermons that have raised eyebrows in social medias. They've labeled it as the evil workings of evil men, kind of true if some were to look at it at that angle, same with HIV and AIDS. Others have taken their frustrations to the minority classes like the Runs Academy and similar establishment, where sex workers meet with their clients. Truth is the virus didn't fall from the skies, it might have been caused by natural events due to habitat loss of animals hosting pathogens, or it could have been made straight from the lab. The girls are definitely opting to become licensed sex workers and regularly tested to avoid such speculations, as no one wants to accept the blame cross on their shoulders. Now there's the group of people that will easily be held to ransom for coming of the coronavirus, the rainbow community. Okay, first I'm entitled to my own opinion here, despite having people to raise eyebrows. But why will the rainbow community be blamed again for such an unfortunate incident? I'd say the virus was manufactured with the sole purpose of wiping them out directly or indirectly. Create a panic, sell some pills and find the minority to put the blame on. As was with the case of the HIV and AIDS, the allegations were heavy on the rainbow community despite sources claiming they came from the lab. Well, not everyone seems to follow this lead again, maybe the scales have fallen. Truth is, if they are the cause, why does it kill them like it kills the straights? It's important you recall one-time poetry, Mr. Nobody.
I know a funny little man, as quiet as a mouse, who does the mischief that is done in everybody's house. There's no one ever sees his face, and yet we all agree that every plate we break was cracked by Mr. Nobody. It is he who always tears our books, who leaves the door ajar. He pulls the buttons from our shirt and scatters the pins after the papers always are mislaid. Who had them last but he? There is no one tosses them about but Mr. Nobody. The finger marks upon the door by none of us are made, we never leave the blinds unclosed to let the curtains fade, the ink we never spill, the boots that lying around you see are not our boots, they all belong to Mr. Nobody.
Cause that's what the deal is all about. No one willing to be responsible for the outbreak, no leads, dead ends, cover-ups. I guess the mastermind probably couldn't effectively come up with the pill. Reminds me of the zombie apocalypse in the movies. Perhaps the next virus gonna hit the limelight so 100 years to the future, we sure should be ready. Okay, guys, that's for today. See you same time next week with another exciting content. Once again, my name is Melvin.
But I'll never let you in again. I let you get to me once now, baby. But I'll never let you in again. I let you get to me, I let you get to me, get to me. I let you get to me, I let you get to me, get to me. I let you get to me, I let you get to me, get to me. I let you get to me, I let you get to me, get to me.